Hello everyone, we are back with the top 8 match, and unfortunately Josh had to leave, but I'm now with someone very special. Care to introduce yourself?
Hey everybody, I am Ryan Sablehouse. I've been playing the game for a while, and I'm just here trying to help commentate this game so we can have a good match on our hands.
So today, in this top 8 match, we have Rainbow Road Xerneas against Volcanion EX. Now, we saw Ahmed in the previous round. He was able to secure his top 8 spot, and we see him with a triple Volcanion EX start.
Yeah, he's getting off to a really quick start, and he's throwing away the Skyfield with Ultra Ball. He probably figures that Caleb's going to play one of his own, so he's just trying to get set up, get out of Baby Volcanion so he can start taking easy knockouts.
And we saw he already has 4 fire energy in his discard pile before even attacking, so a really explosive start for him.
He's got a really fast setup with the escape rope too to make sure one of his Volcanions doesn't get trapped. But I don't know if he has a supporter as that last card in his hand. He's got to really draw into something if that's not a supporter.
Yeah. And now it's Caleb's turn. We see a Trainer's Mail first, and then we see a Hoopa. So Caleb will try to set up that Rainbow Force knockout. I think it'll be hard for him to get a knockout this turn, but going on to turn 2, he should be able to get them.
I think the biggest thing for Caleb here is that he needs to make sure that he gets another baby Xerneas or a free retreater. Because if this Xerneas gets knocked out by a baby Volcanion attack, he is going to be lost completely.
Yeah, definitely. And I think I saw off of his hand, he has a Sycamore and a Verseeker and 2 Max Elixirs. So the Max Elixirs might actually set him back a little bit if he has to discard them without finding the other baby Xerneas you were talking about.
Yeah, that's going to be a big loss for him if he can't actually use those Max Elixirs. Because the biggest part about this matchup that Rainbow Road needs to worry about, they need to make sure they keep up on the prize exchange. They need to have an attacker every turn, and they need to hit those Max Elixirs onto a good target.
I mean, you would know, Ryan. You used Rainbow Road yourself yesterday, right?
Yeah, I used Rainbow Road, and I had to play a couple of Volcanions, and it came down to basically I needed, we can even see Caleb here. He's going to Shaman for like 2 cards, and he actually hit the Ultra Ball.
Wow.
He needed to find a way to get another attacker that he could use these Max Elixirs on, and he actually got it off of 2 cards.
Yeah, that's really good for Caleb going forward, and Ahmed actually runs Skyfield himself. Like, we saw that in the previous round, so Caleb won't be suffering in the sense that he will have enough Pokemon.
6 card Rainbow Energy. That is the best feeling.
Yeah,
6 card is being the energy for Max Elixir.
And yeah, I mean, he will probably not make the best use of that last Max Elixir. Oh, well, he's just going to play it down, and there we have it. He hits another energy.
Ooh, he actually might get this turn 1 attack.
Yeah. I mean, now he has a brand new 7 cards of the Sycamore he will use, and who knows, will he get that escape rope and an energy?
This is going to be a huge swing turn if he hits in energy. And, oh, he got a switch. No, he got the floatstone and an energy.
Yeah.
He's actually getting the turn 1 attack off.
Wow. And if you're Caleb, you'd rather KO the baby Volcanion, right, in this position?
Yep.
Like, it's a lot better to KO that and leave the field with 3 Volcanion EXs.
Oh, he also got the Xerneas with an EXP shirt. That's actually just nuts, because now the big thing was, can Ahmed respond? Because if Ahmed gets a knockout onto the 3 energy Xerneas, then he's going to leave Caleb with literally nothing. But now he has the EXP shared Xerneas, so even if this thing falls, he's still going to have a backup plan. Caleb's going to have, all he needs is just a DC to attack again.
Yeah. And Ahmed, even though he got a pretty okay turn 1, he chooses not to draw anything off of the Trainer's Mail and will simply play the end to limit Caleb's options. But he also didn't have, I don't believe he had more than 3 cards in his hand, and he didn't have a draw supporter, so Ahmed actually helping out Caleb.
Ahmed's actually just going to scoop it up. He didn't hit any attacker. He hit a Floatstone to retreat, but he didn't hit a baby Volcanion to attack. So he's just like, you know what, that game's not going my way. Let's just try for game 2.
Wow, that's really rough on Ahmed.
That was a crazy first turn for Caleb. He went completely off. And it was, honestly, it came down to that Shaman for 2, hitting the Ultra Ball as the second card. And then he finally had something to use Max Elixirs on. That was crazy.
That was really crazy. You usually don't see games go by this fast.
Yeah, not that fast.
Wow.
That's honestly, I really like that Ahmed actually scooped there, though, because there was literally no chance he was going to be able to come back in that game. And he said, okay, you know what? I'm going to save myself a lot of time. I'm not going to think about that game anymore. Put it behind me. Let's get into game 2, and let's hopefully not have that happen to me again.
Yeah. I mean, I think what just happened could be really rare, maybe. Especially Ahmed having, I don't know, no follow-up to that attack. So hopefully Ahmed manages to stabilize, and we see a more thorough match again with Rainbow Road and Volcanion.
This is usually a really close matchup, too. It can go either way, and it's just basically a big prize exchange happening with Caleb looking to, at some turns, try and swing and kill a Volcanion EX, and Ahmed trying to just attack with just the baby Volcanions and use Steam Up to knock out the Xerneases every time, to knock out the energies that are in play. It usually is not as one-sided as we just saw.
Yeah. And now for the math to work out in Ahmed's favor, he needs either a triple... Well, no, he always needs a triple Steam Up and a Fighting Fury Belt, or a quadruple Steam Up, right? In order to deal 120 damage at least. So that's also something that Ahmed might struggle with going forward into this match.
Quadruple Steam Up is never easy to hit, so...
Yeah, it's definitely not very common.
Even if you get all 4 of them down, it's also having the 4 energy and an energy to attack also. Oh, that is not a good start for Caleb. But, I mean, unless he has the Floatstone in his hand, Genesect is not what you want in the active position against a fire deck.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
He's just escape ropes to send up the Volcanion. I guess Ahmed's saying, you know what? I don't really care if I can knock out that Genesect. I'm going to make you attach a Floatstone to somebody that is not Genesect so that it's stuck on that Volcanion.
Yeah, so you can't reuse it. And yeah, that Genesect, unless Ahmed decides to play the Scorched Earth we saw in the previous round, that Genesect is a very easy 2 prizes for Ahmed to pick up at any point in the game and could actually be a very big liability.
So right now Ahmed is using an Ultra Ball, grabbing a Hoopa. He's probably going to grab 2 Volcanions and a Shaman so that he can get a good setup. He's probably looking to get, I would say he's probably looking to get 3 Volcanion, maybe 2 Volcanion EX, a Hoopa, and then a Shaman on his bench, and maybe another Volcanion for in the future if a Skyfield comes down.
Yeah, bench space is not going to be an issue because Caleb will eventually play a Skyfield, and even if he doesn't, Ahmed has his own Skyfield, so he's okay with filling up his bench with EXs, as he will have more space for Baby Volcanion later on.
So Ahmed's actually choosing to just attach the fire energy to the bench guy. He says, I can attach a fire to the active next turn. I don't need to put it as a liability, and I saw what you just did last game, so I'm not going to attach an energy to somebody that's just going to that might just get knocked out if you go off again. I'm just going to start setting up a Volcanion EX on the bench, maybe set up a couple easy prize cards for the future if I need to pick off that Genesect or if I need to take out your Xerneas.
Yeah, and with the Max Elixir hitting for Ahmed, he actually now has a response to the Xerneas if Caleb manages to pull that insane turn 1 once again.
With a little look at Caleb's hand, I don't think we're going to get as crazy of a turn 1, but okay, we got a big Sycamore coming down.
Getting rid of quite a few energy, a Verse Seeker, and a few energy retrieval, which towards the late game might actually end up mattering quite a bit. Now we do see Caleb immediately play an N. I believe we saw 2 Sycamore and a Fairy Energy and a TCE right there. So yeah, makes sense for him to play the N immediately.
That's usually not a strong turn 1. When you see your opponent not play a single card from their hand and only play an N, he needs to draw something very good off of these 6 cards. He not only needs to draw an attacker, he needs to draw an energy to attach to that attacker. Or he needs something like a Shaman or something. So he got the Xerneas. He's looking for the Max Elixir energy. He hit 4 energy as the first 4 cards.
Doesn't even bother looking at the rest of the cards.
He was just like, you know what? They're probably just 2 more energies. I'm just going to take the first one.
I mean, what does Rainbow Road usually run? 8 energy?
Maybe 8.
So hitting half of them off of 6 cards on your turn 2, that's crazy.
Well, at the very least, Caleb got down what he was looking to get down, because he knew he didn't have a good hand. He said, you know what, all I need is just an attacker and an energy. Now all I need is the DC for the next turn.
Now, Ahmed could actually opt to take a KO on the Volcanion because it is weak to water. Volcanion EX is dual typing, and he has the energy, he has a Floatstone as well, and there we go. He's actually gonna opt to do that. And he's gonna pick up 2 prizes, and then he has the 2 prizes on the Genesect as well, so
Mm-hmm.
And without the dual typing from Volcanion EX for Rainbow Force, Caleb might struggle to KO that Fighting Fury belted Volcanion EX next turn.
Yeah, basically what Ahmed is saying is I'm going to try and take a knockout here, and then if you can't return a knockout, I'm going to take at least 1 or 2 more prizes with this thing.
And I believe Ahmed does have the Ranger in his hand
Yes.
as well. So, but he's just gonna Sycamore
Okay.
right away. Okay, so not conserving any resources, just aggressively flying through his deck, really.
Mm-hmm.
And
Alright,
does
takes the
take
2
that
prize
knockout.
cards. He's water type,
yeah.
yes.
You
It's a
can
little
some-
harder to tell with the secret rare.
Yeah,
'cause
definitely.
It just looks like a big blend of colors.
Yeah, and you can definitely it's something you can definitely forget. That's for sure.
Okay, so Caleb just Super Rod's back in the Volcanion. He says, you know what? I know I might need Super Rod later in the game, but you're going way too fast, and I need at least 2 more types from that Volcanion being on my bench.
Yeah, I don't think we saw a Joltik in the previous turn, so maybe Caleb doesn't play Galvantula, and so that Volcanion becomes really important in this matchup.
Alright, so he's drawing the cards. He's got a Xerneas Break. It looks like that's a Galvantula.
Yeah, it looks like it. Yeah,
Okay.
so I guess he does.
But the problem here is, I think Caleb can't really. He just ended to get the 6 cards, so he's gonna play that. So Caleb's basically saying, if this Xerneas gets knocked out, I think the game's just gonna end. So if
Yeah.
a Ranger comes down here, a Switch comes down here, anything that can knock out this Xerneas, Caleb's probably going to scoop. He might stay a little bit longer since time's really not going to be an issue with that quick first game.
Yeah.
But he has all of his eggs in one basket with this Xerneas. This is all he has.
And Ahmed does have the Verseeker in his hand, so he can steam up. Or not. No, yeah, he has the energy retrieval. So he can Ranger or. Wow. So
Maybe the
Ahmed-
Ranger isn't in his discard pile.
Maybe, yeah, maybe
I do remember
saw that
seeing it in
wrong.
his hand, but
Yeah,
maybe it
me
got
too.
end away.
Okay.
Okay.
I thought he Sycamored it away.
I could have sworn he sycamored it away also.
Yeah. But anyways, Ahmed, he could also be playing towards a later game.
Okay, so there was just a little misinterpretation. He used the I think he stated that he was going to use Power Heater, and I don't think he actually did the action, so it looks like we're just getting an attack for 20 off of here.
Okay.
I believe he played the energy retrieval, and he may not have stated exactly what he was going to do. He needed to actually perform the action, so I don't think that'll be that big of a deal, but he just missed out on 80 damage
Yeah.
from not getting to use Steam Up.
And because Xerneas Break does have 150 HP, he might whiff the 2-hit KO on that.
Mm-hmm.
And that could be big. So always make sure you state what you're doing very clearly for not only your opponent, but the judge to hear as well.
Mm-hmm.
Of the trainer's mail, Caleb does grab a Sycamore, and he still doesn't have another baby Xerneas, and if he loses all those energy right now, that might be rough for him going forward.
Caleb's really just looking to find. Oh, he's actually just hitting
Oh.
for 40 damage.
Okay. I mean, that's. I am confused.
I'm really confused. I could have sworn I just saw a Sycamore in his hand also.
He had Sycamore.
And
he
he just
also had
chose-
Verseeker for N potentially. I am not entirely sure.
Okay, so
Why?
it looks like we got a Steam Up counter at the very least. I'm not sure
Yeah.
what's going on with the turns here and with the lack of supporter play, but we at least have 2 Steam Ups coming out from Ahmed here. So if he gets 2 more, he's going to get the knockout on the Xerneas.
Yeah, looks like he might barely miss though, because
I'll
he
try.
has the 1 energy. He could also, if he hits the max elixir, he could take a KO with Volcanion once again,
Mhm.
which would be good. And he's gonna go for Shaman, so he's gonna try at least.
There's 4 energy in the discard, 3 on the field, so he's definitely got some energies left, and also energy retrieval.
Yeah. He's gonna go for the quadruple. He's gonna go
Max
for the
looks like-
quadruple.
This might be weird, because if he does hit an energy, he might not actually even want to take it. I mean,
Yeah.
he does get it, and I guess he's going to play it down, but he might not actually even want to take the energy. He needs that to use Steam Up to get a knockout on this thing. If he knocks out these energies, he's going to take a huge advantage, and actually he might just manually retreat and attach an energy and attack with Volcanion EX,
Yeah.
because that would be the 130 he needs.
Or maybe, okay.
He's just going to manually
There we
retreat and
go.
just take the easy knockout, the guaranteed knockout.
Yeah. I mean, I also thought maybe he was considering simply powering up his Volcanion EXs to play the longer game, to ensure the longer game, but having no Xerneas in play, having only Gensect, Caleb's in a really bad position here. There's really not too much he can actually do right now. And it's really big, and he has 2 Sycamores and a Verseeker, and he chose not to play anything.
That was very confusing, but maybe Caleb knows something we don't know about this matchup.
Or maybe he's just assumed he's gonna lose this one, and he's trying to get information.
That could be it also.
He could simply be playing a bit passively in order to make Ahmed play more cards and figure out more information.
So it looks like Caleb's choosing to not attach one of the fairy energies he has onto the baby Xerneas. He might actually be just going for the DCE and a max elixir, but he would need a lot of basic Pokemon to get a knockout to go with that.
Yeah, and off of the 6 cards, that doesn't seem too realistic.
He's definitely going to need a Shaman.
Yeah, he does hit the max elixir and the double colorless, but he will not draw
for 70
any more
damage
cards.
at max.
Yeah, and that Joltik is probably going to be the next sacrificed Pokemon here.
That Joltik is not going to be on this earth for much longer. But he hits the max elixir.
He does. Maybe he could consider giving up the Gensect because you get the dual typing from Galvantula potentially next turn, but I don't know. And at this point, I don't think it matters, but you would consider it perhaps?
Yes. And another big thing that Caleb might be thinking is he might actually just let this Genesect get knocked out also. Okay, he's sending up the Xerneas, and it looks like he's just going to hit for 70 damage and just hope that Ahmed can't get a knockout. But we did see, I'm almost 100% sure I saw... No, okay.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah, okay, there it was. I was going to say, I'm almost positive I saw that he had an Olympia. I didn't want to call it too soon. I'm almost positive I saw an Olympia. So he's going to get to use the Olympia, retreat right back in, and then hit for 130 and take the knockout.
Yep.
And there's the scoop. Yeah, after that got knocked out, there's almost no way Caleb can come back.
So I'm genuinely confused at that turn where Caleb had 2 Sycamores and a Verseeker, and he chose not to do anything about it.
Because even if he was worried about conserving resources, he had the Via Seeker for an N.
Yeah. And which he did the next turn.
His turn just flew by, like, so fast. We were still on Ahmed's turn, watching his turn get finished with the whole misinterpretation of using the steam ups. And then Caleb's turn was literally just over, and he didn't play a supporter from what I saw.
So top 8 is, what, 115 minutes? I mean, 1 hour, 15 minutes, I believe. So in under
18
20
minutes.
Yeah, in 18 minutes.
And that's including shuffling.
Yeah, we just saw 2 games. So time will not be an issue here, that's for sure. Maybe Ahmed might have ripped a sleeve right now.
He might have ripped a sleeve.
Yeah, but thankfully we have a ton of time to make sure that doesn't affect the outcome of this match.
Yeah, they have plenty of time. They could probably handle a full re-sleeving and still get enough time
without
to finish this game.
Extension, yeah. So tell us about your tournament yesterday. Did you face any Volcanion EXs?
I did.
Yesterday?
I faced one Volcanion, and it was in the 8th round, I believe. And basically the matchup came down to kind of what this matchup is. It just seems like whoever gets off to a fast start, Volcanion inherently has the advantage because Volcanion just uses abilities to get set up, while Rainbow Road has to find a DCE, they have to find the max elixirs, they have to find all of the Pokemon on the bench, and they can have a much worse start. It's much more hit or miss. Ahmed really just needs to find a basic to start. A Hoopa gets all of his powered up, all of his Volcania X's to power up his attacks, and then he just needs to find a baby Volcanion, and we know he plays enough switch cards to get them out, so I think Ahmed has the inherent advantage with Volcanion, but Caleb, as we saw, if he goes off, if Rainbow Road's drawing good, Rainbow Road can beat any deck in this format.
Yeah, I usually compare Rainbow Road to Night March, whereas Night March, it didn't matter what they were up against, they would always have a chance as long as they set up or got enough Pokemon in the discard pile and had a good flow of DCs. So playing against Rainbow Road definitely feels like that it's sometimes not up to you in the sense that you can stop them, but it's more like, will they whiff or not?
Okay, so right now we see Ahmed got
Volcanion
a pretty
EX.
good start. I know he got a Volcanion EX. He definitely has the Ultra Ball and a supporter. But I also know that Caleb has the Xerneas start, which is not the best starter
Yeah.
because it could actually get knocked out. But he does have a good start too. It looks like he's got 2 Trainer Mail and definitely a supporter along with the DCE.
What would you say is the best starter for Rainbow Road?
Joltik.
Yeah.
Joltik is definitely the best starter. Okay. Anything that has free retreat. There are some Rainbow Roads that play Jolteon EX also, like the more EX related versions.
Mm-hmm.
And anything that has a free retreat that can let you just sit there for a while, get everything set up on the bench, and then turn 2 just come up and start attacking. That is what he's looking for. So he's trainer milling. I think he's trying to find an Ultra Ball here.
Yeah, you would think so. He has then in his hand. You play the Skyfield here, probably.
He's going through a very serious moral dilemma of whether I attach this energy, because if he gets knocked out, that's a DCE gone. And it looks like he's going to attach a Floatstone also to retreat. Okay.
Yeah. So that makes sense. If he finds the Joltik we were talking about, he can safely do that and not lose the resources on the Xerneas.
Another big thing about him playing the N here, he doesn't know this, but Caleb just ended Ahmed out of a beautiful hand. Ahmed had the Ultra Ball, he had the supporters, he had the fire energies, he had everything he needed, and now Ahmed has to draw into it again. Well, it looks like he's drawn into...
Looks like he's good.
He's just drawn into everything just fine. Caleb drew another... So he's got a Xerneas, and it looks like those max elixirs, they love to hang out together.
Yeah.
Okay, so we know his hand is actually another Xerneas, and then he has 2 more max elixirs. That is what Caleb's got in his hand. So he's going to get a Hoopa here. He's going to Shaman. But he's going to use those max elixirs first so he can get a full Shaman for 6.
And he's going to go for Genesect once again. So both Hoopa and Genesect are liabilities for this deck. Like usually using Rainbow Road, you want to trade 1 price Xerneas for EX attackers. But if Ahmed is able to find a good string of Lysanders, he could pick up some easy prices there and get the price trade in his favor, or even it out at least.
Yeah.
So we do see he also got rid of 2 Sycamores, so I don't know if he has another Verseeker in his hand, maybe a 3rd Sycamore even. Yeah. But because I usually find they also like to hang out together. Yeah. My Sycamores and the Verseekers, they're always together.
Now we just really have to see if these max elixirs hit, because max elixirs are so big in this matchup. He missed the first one. I'm going to need to hit this second one.
Yeah.
Or at the very least find a 3rd one, because he needs to start getting energies on the board. When his attackers start getting knocked out, he really needs extra energy on the field, which is going to come in the form of max elixirs and EXP share.
Yep, and he does hit the second one, so that's really good. And now he will get a free setup of 6 full cards. Not a bad start for Caleb.
I think Caleb right here, the only thing he could possibly be looking for is the 1, the Floatstone, or 2, the Joltik, which he just got with the Ultra Ball if he wanted it. I'm not sure if he's going to use it for it, because I don't think he actually has another supporter card in his hand, and he might need to use that for a Shaman, besides the Olympia, which does not exactly count.
Yeah.
So he's going to retreat here to something. I would assume he would retreat to something, and then just retreat with the Floatstone next turn.
Probably to the Hoopa, because you have the Floatstone right there on the Genesect.
He might actually, if he's feeling good and he's feeling confident about Ahmed not having a good hand, he might just send up the Genesect, which would be riskier, but then he makes sure that he gets to keep the Floatstone for anything else that he needs to attach it to.
Yeah, that's true. But against Volcanion, I don't think I would take that risk. I would definitely not take
I've seen plenty of Volcanion decks go off, so I probably wouldn't take that risk either, but I mean, we just saw Caleb last game not playing a supporter card, so he might know something we don't know.
And so, looks like this game 3 will actually be a lot more even.
That's rough. He actually just drew his hand and he did not get a supporter card out of there.
Yeah.
So I think he's got 2 fairy energies and a DCE. He does have a parallel city though, so.
Which could serve not only to limit Ahmed's bench and prevent so much steam up, but also reduce the damage output potentially.
Yep. Okay, so Ahmed's got a pretty good hand. He's got the 2 basics. He's got the baby Volcanion and the Volcanion EX, and he's just gonna Sycamore.
Yeah, gets rid of the Skyfield though. So if Caleb times the Parallel City just right, he might actually hurt Ahmed a lot, because he might get confident in the sense that he will bench a ton of Pokemon.
Looks like Ahmed didn't really draw into
Too much,
anything.
yeah.
He did not hit a switch card. He did not hit an Ultra Ball for Shaman. He hit
Dragonite EX.
Yeah.
Yes, Dragonite, but aside from that,
he's actually just gonna have to pass here,
yeah.
and that's gonna be a very big opening for Caleb.
I mean, he has the end, but for next turn.
Mm-hmm.
And that's sometimes what happens with Volcanion. You have so many energy recovery cards and things like that that you might end up with so many energy and the energy retrievals, and then with nothing else.
So this is gonna be a big opening for Caleb. He actually is gonna be able to pick up the Floatstone. He's playing down the Joltik. He's going to be able to pick up the Floatstone. And even though he doesn't have a supporter card, he's still going to get to just take two free prize cards off of this Volcanion. And he's going to be able to have a DC on his back Xerneas so that he can start attacking after this one gets knocked out.
Yeah, Caleb's going to be applying a ton of pressure to Ahmed. He does fill up his bench, so it looks like he's not planning on using that Pearl City anytime soon. Right now, and we'll see what he gets off of his two prizes to keep up the onslaught.
He did hit an N.
Yep.
It's not the best supporter since he just took two prize cards, but it is at least a supporter. Oh. Okay.
Ahmed attaches another energy, so he's not even gonna be able to power up his benched Pokemon. He's just gonna have to take the KO with Volcanian's second attack.
It looks like he took a fifth card off of Trainer Mail on accident, but that's fine.
Yeah, he's gonna
play
it's no big deal. And there we go. And then down to 4 cards for Caleb, 6 for Ahmed. And what does he need to find off of this? He needs to find more Baby Volcanion, Max Elixir potentially.
I think he's going to need to find a Baby Volcanion and his Volcanion EXs, because the scenario is going to go, he's going to take a knockout here, the Xerneas is going to come up and take a knockout on him, and then he needs a response after that. So he needs to have either 3 Steam Up Volcanion EX, which he does now, and a Baby Volcanion with the Fighting Fury Belt to take the knockout.
Yep.
Or he's going to need to hit a lot of Max Elixirs to be able to start attacking with the Volcanion EX.
I mean, he has 1 Max Elixir, so that's a start, but no Baby Volcanion.
So we're going to Super Rod coming and then another N. It looks like they're just going to keep ending each other.
Okay. I think that actually might benefit Ahmed.
Yeah.
I mean, he gets a fresh 5 cards, which his previous 6 or 7, however many he had, were not getting him closer to that KO. So if Caleb doesn't find another Max Elixir or the EXP share we know he plays, he might be in trouble if he gets KO'd back this turn.
So we found the Galvantula, so now he's got another dual type. I think he's already hitting for enough damage anyway, but the Galvantula just helps just in case a stadium gets replaced or something. Now he's going to have that dual type.
And I believe I saw the XP share in his hand, but he chose not to play it. So maybe he's confident Ahmed will not be able to get that knockout.
And I can personally guarantee him that he is wrong.
Yeah.
Because Ahmed hit the Ultra Ball and Fighting Fury Belt to go with his energy retrieval.
Yeah. So Ahmed will need 2 more energy in order to get this KO off of the Sycamore of 7. So yeah, if Ahmed responds here, Caleb's gonna be in a ton of trouble because he chose not to play the XP share. I don't know why he wouldn't do that.
I think there's no reason he shouldn't have played it. If he did have it in his hand, I think there's no reason he should have played it. So that's an interesting move if he kept it in his hand.
Maybe it was his prize card, but
that might have been it.
I generally don't think it was. I think a Fairy Energy was his prize card.
Alright, so we got the energy retrieval. So there's 1 energy, and then the second energy, which he's going to use for Steam Up.
There we go. There's 1.
And then he's got the Fighting Fury Belt. So now he literally just needs 2 more energy. He needs 2 fire. He needs an energy retrieval. He just needs to hit anything that can let him use Steam Up twice, take the knockout here. And Caleb is going to have to... Okay, so he did get the 2 energy.
Yeah, he does get the 2 energy.
That's close, though.
He gets the Entei, which can also trade pretty effectively here.
Entei's a really good attacker in this matchup. Yeah. I'm almost certain he specifically teched the Entei in just for this matchup. This is going to be a big swing turn for Ahmed. He's going to take the knockout here. He's going to force Caleb to have to find a Max Elixir to use on his Baby Xerneas.
And we saw Ahmed not even take a look at the full 6 cards once again. So maybe because it is game 3, they're not exactly aware of how much time is left at this point. But
if only they knew, they still had so much time.
And Entei is ready to go at this point. So whatever Caleb does end up will not be safe.
And I believe the Entei is going to hit for 20 plus 20 more for each Pokemon that he has on the bench. So right now it's going to be hitting for 140, 150. Which is even more now that he benches another one. So he's going to be able to take knockouts on EXs.
Yeah, even Hoopa can't handle the damage. And with Team Up...
Oh, it looks like something happened here. I'm not quite sure what happened, but...
Me neither. The judge stopped play for a second.
There definitely wasn't anything like a Hex Maniac played or anything like that, so it wasn't anything about that. It looked like he had everything he needed to off of the supporter cards he was playing. So we'll get this cleared up soon with what's going on. We got judges coming over, so
yeah. So bear with us, guys. We'll be right back here. We're trying to figure out what is going on. Okay guys, so a lot of you might be wondering what's going on. Thanks to a stream, we were able to notice that Ahmed drew an extra card off of the end that Caleb played, and that extra card ended up
being very significant.
Yeah, being very significant.
Yeah,
and
it was the energy retrieval that he needed to take the knockout right there. So the judges went over it and looked over it, and I guess they figured it was an irreversible game state of some sort, or they couldn't reverse it all the way what it needed to be, so they ended up giving Ahmed a 3-prize penalty, I believe, either a 3-prize or just a multi-prize penalty, and it ended up letting Caleb get the win.
Yeah, and some of you guys in the chat were mentioning rules sharking or bad sportsmanship. There was none of that here. It was an honest mistake,
Yep.
I'm sure, and things like this simply happened. We were able to catch it thanks to our stream team, and the triple prize penalty obviously made Caleb win, but there was neither player was trying to take advantage of the other. There was no rule sharking or bad sportsmanship from either player.
It was just ultimately an unfortunate set of circumstances. I'm sure Ahmed didn't mean to draw the 6 card, but it's just unfortunate because he did go very far, and it looked like he was in a pretty good position in that last game. But either way, Caleb's going to be moving to the top 4. Ahmed is going to be able to go get all of his prizes, and I guess we'll never know how that game was going to end.
So yeah, guys, bear with us. There's still around half an hour left of this round. We unfortunately cannot get another game on stream, so bear with us, and we'll be back as soon as possible with the top 4 matches.